Have you ever wondered why the rich get richer and the poor get poorer? This question echoes in the minds of many, sparking curiosity and concern alike. It's a global issue, the disparity of wealth that spans across continents, cultures, and communities. It's a complex matter, not simply a game of numbers or a result of sheer luck. It's a labyrinth of factors encompassing habits, mindset, and opportunities. The wealthy and the less fortunate walk different paths, shaped by different influences and experiences. Imagine two roads diverging in a forest. The rich often find themselves on a path paved with opportunities, while the less fortunate tread on a rocky road, often leading to a cycle of poverty. Yes, it's about money, but it's also about the habits that lead to wealth accumulation, the mindset that fosters growth, and the opportunities seized or missed. To understand this better, let's delve into the habits and mindset of these two different groups. First, we examine the habits that separate the rich from the poor. 4 key habits stand out when we delve into the daily routines of the affluent: savings, investment, continuous learning, and networking. These habits, when practiced consistently, contribute significantly to wealth accumulation. Saving is the first of these habits. The rich understand the importance of paying themselves first. They ensure a portion of their income, usually a significant one, is set aside for future use. The principle is simple: spend what is left after saving, not save what is left after spending. Next is the habit of investment. The rich don't just save. They grow their money. They understand the power of compound interest and how it can turn small amounts into substantial sums over time. They invest in assets like stocks, bonds, real estate, or businesses that have the potential to increase in value. This habit of investing and reinvesting allows them to build and multiply their wealth. Continuous learning is another characteristic habit of the wealthy. They understand that their greatest investment is in themselves. They constantly seek knowledge and skills that can enhance their value and increase their earning potential. They read books, attend seminars, and learn from mentors. They're always on the lookout for new opportunities and ways to improve. Finally, networking. The rich understand the importance of relationships. They surround themselves with people who inspire them, challenge them, and help them grow. They know that their network is their net worth. They leverage relationships to open doors of opportunities that otherwise might remain shut. These habits help the rich to multiply their wealth over time, whereas the poor often lack these habits. But here's the good news. Habits can be learned and cultivated. It's never too late to start. Remember, it's not about where you start, but where you're going. Now, let's shift our focus to the mindset difference between the rich and the poor. This is where we see a critical divergence that is often overlooked in discussions about wealth disparity. The rich, for starters, tend to be risk takers. They understand that financial success often requires stepping out of their comfort zones. They're willing to invest in new ventures even when the outcome is uncertain, because they view potential failure as a stepping stone rather than a roadblock. This is not to say that they are reckless. Rather, they take calculated risks, assessing the potential rewards against the possible losses and making informed decisions based on that analysis. In contrast, those less fortunate often harbor a fear of risk. They may see potential failure as a threat to their survival, which can make them hesitant to take the leap and seize opportunities. This fear can keep them in a cycle of financial stagnation. Optimism is another trait commonly found amongst the wealthy. They believe in their ability to create a better future for themselves, and this belief fuels their ambition and drive. They see challenges as opportunities for growth and learning, and they're not easily deterred by setbacks. On the other hand, pessimism can be a common mindset amongst the poor. Faced with financial hardship, they may develop a belief that their situation is unlikely to improve, which can lead to a lack of motivation to strive for a better future. Lastly, the rich often adopt a long-term perspective. They plan for the future and make decisions with their long-term goals in mind. They understand that wealth creation is a marathon, not a sprint. In contrast, those who are less fortunate often focus on the short term, driven by immediate needs and concerns. They may struggle to plan for the future when the present is filled with financial uncertainty. As we can see, mindset plays a significant role in the financial gap between these two groups. It's not just about the balance in your bank account, it's about how you think, how you approach risks, and how you plan for the future. Lastly, we'll look at opportunities, the often unseen advantage of the rich. Opportunities are like doors. The more you have, the greater your chances of finding success. And one significant aspect that separates the wealthy from the poor is the number and quality of opportunities at their disposal. Consider education, for instance. The rich often have access to top-tier education, providing them with a sturdy foundation of knowledge and skills. This isn't just about attending prestigious universities, it's about the entire educational journey, from childhood to adulthood, that's often laden with enrichment classes, internships, and mentorship programs. This broad and deep education gives the rich a significant head start. Then there's the power of networks. It's often said that your net worth is your network. This is especially true for the rich. Their networks are filled with influential individuals, industry leaders, and decision makers. These contacts can provide insider information, business opportunities, and partnerships that can significantly elevate one's financial status. Moreover, the rich have the capacity to make large-scale investments. This could be in real estate, stocks, businesses, or even in innovative startups. Such investments have the potential to generate enormous returns, further increasing their wealth. For the poor, however, these types of investments are often out of reach due to their limited resources. In essence, the rich are playing a game with many doors, each leading to potential wealth. The poor, on the other hand, are often stuck in a room with fewer doors, if any at all. This disparity in opportunities is powerful because it directly impacts the potential for wealth generation. What's more, this lack of opportunities doesn't just affect the poor's current financial status. It also has a profound effect on their future prospects. Without access to quality education, influential networks, and substantial investments, the poor are often trapped in a cycle of poverty. The lack of such opportunities can keep the poor in a cycle of poverty. So, what does this mean in the grand scheme of things? Well, let's dive right in. The habits, mindsets, and opportunities that we've been discussing don't exist in isolation. They intermingle, creating a cycle of wealth and poverty. Let's start with the wealth cycle. The rich, through their habits, have fostered a mindset that encourages financial growth. They're not afraid to invest in themselves, their learning, or in opportunities that present potential for growth. They understand the concept of money working for them rather than them working for money. This mindset, coupled with their habits, propels them into a cycle where each financial success fuels the next. Money breeds money, and the rich get richer. Now, contrast this with the cycle of poverty. Unfortunately, those with limited resources often find themselves trapped in a mindset of scarcity. They may work tirelessly, but without the right habits and access to opportunities, their efforts often don't translate into financial growth. The scarcity mindset, rooted in the fear of losing what little they have, can prevent them from taking risks, investing, or seeking out new opportunities. This results in a cycle where the lack of resources fuels further poverty. The two cycles we've just discussed are not just separate, they are polar opposites. One is a cycle of growth and abundance, the other of stagnation and scarcity, and the habits, mindsets, and opportunities that feed these cycles are not evenly distributed. But let's be clear, these cycles are not destiny, they're not unbreakable laws of nature. They're patterns that can be changed, and changing these patterns is not just about individual choices, it's about systemic changes in education, in societal support systems, in how we perceive and talk about wealth and poverty. Breaking this cycle requires a shift in habits, mindset, and access to opportunities. It requires us all to rethink our approach to wealth, to poverty, and to the systems that perpetuate these cycles. We all have a part to play. Now let's move on to discuss how we can bridge this gap. We've discussed the habits, mindset, and opportunities that separate the rich from the poor. From the outset, we've seen how the rich and poor differ in their daily habits. The rich, we've found, tend to invest in their knowledge and skills, maintain strong networks, and cultivate a growth mindset. On the other hand, those in poverty often face systemic barriers and a lack of opportunities that hinder their progress. We've also delved into the critical divergence point, where choices can lead to either wealth accumulation or continual struggle. The unseen advantage, such as inherited wealth and access to resources, plays a significant role in this divergence. Moreover, we've looked at the cyclical nature of wealth and poverty, where each generation's financial situation is influenced by the previous ones, creating a persistent cycle that's hard to break. Understanding these differences is the first step towards bridging the wealth gap and creating a more equitable society.